Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank it with the action. With the Vato speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the bay.
Just to hear something like that would happen on a Sunday afternoon.
Well, when you dealing with different hoods, what do you expect? Because it's the weekend, and I don't know. I can't speak for everybody else, but I'm from Santana Blocc Crip, so it's gonna do what it do.
We're a charm that Turtle gave him.
Is that right?
That eagle.
I know Baby Gangsta gave it.
No, Turtle gave it to him.
Dang.
Yeah, Turtle gave
Now
it to
Turtle
him.
moved to Compton from another state when he was a young kid.
The majority of all of them.
Yeah. And how did Turtle become the man in Santana?
He was one because of the game. The game. He was usually the smallest guys.
They knew how to. Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
When the cocaine came to Compton, some of us knew. We looked at it. We know how to sell it. Some of the cats know how to rock it. Some of them cats, they can rock it, they can sell it, and they knew how to save their money.
You knew how to cut it and do
the
all
whole
that.
nine.
Yeah.
The whole nine. And they was making money. Though you could tell those guys were shining like a motherfucker. Baby Gangsta and all of them. So the ones that didn't make it was just in the hood doing their thing. But the ones that did, like Turtle, I remember that white, was it the 65 Chevy he had with Bad Habit Rabbit on it?
Yeah.
Pissed me off. He had a perm at the time. I seen him one day. I was heated. But we had the same fucking opportunity as they had. We had fucking bags like this and shit. And we just didn't know what the fuck we was doing. So the way we sold it, we was getting it away for $500. And
they didn't know how to rock it up.
$10,000 off of the shit we was
Even if you're dealing with cocaine, it's still a business.
2 barrels. Look at the barrel. This is a madman's gun. A double barrel.
Yeah,
A man's gun. A man that go kill with this is really mad. It will kill. This
you better watch out.
is a M1 carbine, 32 rounds. I can go tab Lewis Park with this. I can kill about 32 people if I hit them all.
Yes, indeed.
This is the same thing. I own 2 of these.
This exhibition may be alarming, but for thousands of young people in Los Angeles, weapons are now part of everyday life and death.
9mm.
Tell them about the trait 8. Make them 8.
38 revolver. It really hurts. I had 6 of them in me. It hurts real bad.
Real bad.
That's why right now I issue it out.
My Lord.
The receiving, I ships it.
Why do you need the weapons?
Because guys don't fight anymore.
They don't use the
We used to fight, but they don't do that anymore.
guns.
All about shooting, taking them out.
They want the game.
And if you ever use them, a lot of times,
Many.
when they come to the home front, that's when we use it.
Yes.
And when they come shoot us, we go back and shoot them.
Hey, look. Hey, man. Come to the bruises.
Battle scars.
Battle scars, man. Shot. I got stabbed, shot, and all that other kind of.
The black gangs divide into 2 warring clans, the Crips and the Bloods or Pyrus. The leader of the Santana Block Crips is 24, a drug peddler. He's been a gang member since he was 14. Kenneth Johnson, known as Turtle.
How I started, I had just moved to California. And I was going to Roosevelt Junior High School. And a lot of bloods used to come up to the school and run them everybody home. You know, and I used to wonder, you know, what's happening? What they running everybody home for? Well, it's skating rain, partner. So, you know, I used to wonder what they running for. What's Crip? What's Pyru? So I go home. My buddies used to, you know, ask me what I'm doing coming from that way. You a Pyru? I say, no, man. And I get stopped on the other side of the street. They ask me if I'm a Crip. And I say, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So I was in the, you know, in the blind. I didn't know what was what. Till a couple of guys told me, you know, Pyru's over there, you know, Crips over here, you know? So I say, is that right? What's that? They say a gang, a street gang. You know, so me and my little brother, we didn't know, you know, we didn't know nothing. You know, we knew. So after a while, you know, we got to going along, you know, getting used to it. You know, so we started being in the street gang too. Crips. Crip. You know, I started doing what the Crip was.
How does a guy get respect within the gang?
Well, it's like this. When I didn't have no big brothers, and you know, like I used to have a fight in school, and I used to have to run home because they go with their big brother on me. So I started saying, you know, fuck that. I can't be running home. You know, because I get ran home, my mama make me fight. Because if I lose that fight, that means she gonna whoop my ass. So I had to win. That way, I wouldn't get two ass whoopings. Because if I get beat up, my mama gonna whoop my ass for losing the fight. So I started, you know, acting crazy, you know.
Now we got plenty of bubble.
Yeah, I'm in here, baby. Drop it like it's hot, baby. Yeah. There you go, Watson. 10 it is. 9 win.
Black street gangs identify themselves by the colors they wear. The Pyrus wear red, the Crips wear blue. Blue jackets, blue trousers, blue laces in their shoes. Within both Crips and Pyrus, there are many smaller gangs like the Santana Blocc. Sometimes on a Sunday night, the Crips come together to claim the local skating rink as their patch.
How many gangs here tonight?
About 10.
Are they all friendly to your gang?
Yeah, I know them all, man. They real cool with us.
You got the old kids.
Great Street, there. Where my buddy right here from?
Oh, that's Pocket, quarter pocket Crip. Quarter pocket Crip.
North side must be an old gang.
The phenomenon of the black gangs dates back to the mid-70s. The promise of better housing after the riots of the 60s was never kept. The idealism of black community politics turned sour. For many of the young, black pride became black defiance.
The shooting started about, what, 76 on Melbourne. In 76. You know, they stopped fighting. They just started shooting. You know, and it was something new to me. You know, we used to fight all the time. And the next minute, I'm running from gunshots. So the only thing I said to myself, say, man, we're gonna have to start doing what they doing. You know, same thing they do to us, we do to them. That wasn't me, but you had to, you know, either do or die, or stay in the house. You know, fight or stay in the house. So I wasn't gonna stay in the house for nobody.
How many guys are in the joint right now?
About 20, they're close to 20 to 30 of them.
And what are they there for?
Murders, robberies, kidnapping. Well, ain't too many kidnappings. Murder, robberies, gang violence, you know, mostly all that, you know.
And who's this gang violence against?
The Bloods and other gang members, you know.
You're asking specifically about that gang. They are a very violent, very active gang in Los Angeles County. They've had a number of incidents involving homicides, shooting on a regular basis. So gun warfare is not uncommon to that gang at all.
You gonna shoot some Q102s?
Put your hands down. Turn around. Who's got some ID? Eastside Santana. What they call you, man?
Call me Reg.
Reg?
Yeah.
You OG Reg?
Yeah, original.
Original gangster, man.
Right, yes, gang.
All right.
Most gangs don't have a particular leader, but they have a group of guys who are considered more or less their leadership. The fellow that you just mentioned is a very active gang member. He lives and eats gang banging. He's been arrested over 20 times.
By the age of 24, he was the OG and running the set. What up, though? Shay's Popalot. Salute the almighty mob. This is a California story. Y'all meet us in Compton, on the east side. We about to talk about a legend. Now, there's been a lot of influential Crips that came out of the city of Los Angeles. But when you're talking about the city of Compton, the person that we're covering today is probably going to be the most influential of them all. And I'm going to explain exactly why I think so. Now, when the gang started in L.A., a lot of people say it was mainly made to protect their neighborhoods, and it would eventually evolve into what it is today. And somewhat like the old days, it's still neighborhood associated, with a lot of the sets being based in specific neighborhoods. But the gangs have transformed a lot from what they were in the 1970s through the 1980s. Now, in my mind, the two main things that I say would spark that change would go hand in hand. And one, and probably the most important, was the emergence of drugs. Because with that emergence of drugs, you would see an influx of money coming into the gangs. Now, that would trigger the second big change, and that would be the violence. A situation in the early 1970s that probably would have ended in a fight. By the 1980s, let's just say 1985, that was probably a shootout, because the fight wasn't really about just gang stuff. A lot of times it was going to be concerning drugs, and territory became also more important with the emergence of drugs. And one of these people that was able to capitalize on this time that I'm talking about is going to be the person that we're covering today, Kenneth OG Turtle Johnson. Now, the thing that a lot of people say that makes OG Turtle special from other gang members was he was a money getter, but he was also one of those gang members that was about that action. And it would be a well-rumored play that he would put together on behest of his OG, Kim Bullet Tate, that would pretty much make him probably the most important Crip in Compton history. Now, the Santana Block Compton Crips were formed in 1978, and according to Keefe D, it would be that formation that would pretty much shift the power in Compton over to the Crip side. And a lot of people that they would say would be responsible for that merger of the two neighborhoods before 1978, which was Oak Parks and Midtown, would be Kenneth OG Turtle. Now, even though, like I said, the vision was that of his OG, Kim Bullet Tate, but he wouldn't be able to execute on those plans, as he would end up being murdered, allegedly at the hands of a member of the Lotus Park Pyrus in 1978. And unlike what you see in certain sections of LA, where I guess Bloods and Crips, I wouldn't want to say cool, but I would probably definitely say in a neutral state. And a lot of that probably has to do with the gang truce of, I want to say like 1992, if my history serves me right. But according to a lot of the research that I did, that was not the case when OG Turtle and the Santana Block Crips first emerged. As you would see in those early on clips, how gun happy that it seemed like the gang was, And they was pretty much there in that transformation or that shift when they would go from fighting to guns, as OG Kenneth Turtle stated himself. And back in those days, it seemed like it was pretty much red versus blue, especially with Kenneth Johnson and the Santana set. And a lot of that probably has to do with the murder of his OG, Kim Bullet Tate, at the hands of Eluders Park Blood, as it's referenced that the enemies to the Santana set was any Pyrus in Compton. And some people even said all Bloods. And definitely, depending on who you ask, he's probably going to be mentioned as one of the most prolific hustlers to come out of the Crip sets, especially in Compton, even though he would end up losing his life at the early age of 30 under mysterious circumstances. But his impact will forever be felt. Now, the only example I'm going to give to this is another well-respected Santana member by the name of Frederick Baby Gangsta Stars would say about Kenneth OG Turtle Johnson. He would say that one of Midtown's most recognized and valuable and pretty much Santana's godfather and Compton's Don was Kenneth Turtle Wayne Johnson. He would say that he was one of the most charismatic individuals he has ever known to meet, going on to say how historical it was for Turtle to connect the sets to have Santana Block Compton Crips form. So in my eyes, he's definitely probably going to be one of, if not the most important Crip in Compton. Now, I'm sure there's many more like Tukey and Raymond Washington. Matter of fact, y'all get in the comment box, especially my guys from LA. I was not out there for the wars, and I don't got my Air Force Ones on the pavement. So I definitely want to see what you guys think. Guys like Honcho Day. Y'all definitely get in the comment box. Let me know what important people we missing in LA history on Mob Ties, because we want to make sure y'all are well represented. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red subscribe button and the bell right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Yeah, like I said, y'all get in the comment box. Let us know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what gangsters we miss. No man shall be left unrepresented, and that's on me. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with the guy directly on Twitter, Instagram, POP_A_LOT. And y'all know the rundown. We're going to be back faster than we left. It's your ace Popalot. Salute the almighty mob.